Welcome to the Mom Self-Care Podcast, your safe space to finally focus on YOU. I'm Twitty-Hawkins, your self-care coach for moms, praying wife, and mom of four. And I know that being a Christ-centered mom is such a beautiful calling, but it can be so draining. That's why it's important to make sure you are filling your own cup. On this podcast, we'll discuss practical, holistic self-care strategies to help nurture your mind, body, and spirit. Because a mama who fills her own cup pours that back into her family with true peace and joy. Tune in for honest conversations about motherhood and self-care because you matter too. Blessings, mamas, and welcome to the Mom Self-Care Podcast. Happy New Year. Happy 2026. Awesomeness is about to happen in your life. I just want to speak that over you right now. And I know you may be listening and thinking, Happy New Year. A lot of people are excited about the new year, about new goals. But for moms, a lot of the times, you're thinking about more things you have to do, more goals you want to accomplish, maybe more goals your kids want to accomplish. And it can seem like a burden more so than something that you are looking forward to, something you're hopeful for. So I just want to encourage you that 2026 is going to be an amazing time in your life, no matter what happens. Well, welcome again. I am Twitty-Hawkins, your host and self-care coach for moms. And as you can tell, I'd like to talk a little bit about the reality of the new year and what it could be feeling like for you. So if you're feeling like I'm not excited about the new year, that's okay. I talked about this even in our reset, the training that I did last month, is that yes, it's a new year, but it's also just another day. It's another month. So don't have all of this pressure. Don't put all of this pressure on yourself to be like, I have to do something new. I have to do something bigger. I have to become this big, amazing, wonderful person. Don't put all of that pressure on yourself because when you do, it causes what? Anxiety. It causes mom guilt or just guilt as a woman of God, period, because you're thinking, I'm not becoming all of these things. And that's okay. That's okay. And I've talked about how you need to make sure that you're practicing celebrating your micro wins. So even just think about what is something that I want to accomplish in 2026 or in January of 2026 that is small. Like if you have this big goal and when you think about it, it causes anxiety, how can you break it down into something small or small steps you can take? Just have that mindset instead of, I have all of these things piling up that I have to do or that I have to become, because we don't need more emotional exhaustion on you. And even when you do set resolutions, you're like, I'm excited, I'm hopeful, I'm going to get these things done, especially when you're thinking in January. A lot of the times those things don't work because you don't have realistic expectations. You're saying, I want to do all of these things, but you forgot about, hey, you still need to get through the day to day, right? You still need to, I don't know about you, but my kids, they went back to school today. So I have to remember we had fun. We had a lot of free time over the break. That's going to be over starting today. That's going to be over. And all the things that I was not doing, now I have to do them again. Now my kids have to do them again. And often we may not think about that. So ask yourself, are you thinking about, hey, I want to accomplish these things, but I've forgotten about the things that just the day-to-day things I have to do. Often we're in survival mode, right? Which we're in different seasons of motherhood. So if you're in survival mode and you're like, I'm just trying to get through the day, but you're also heaping up what they say, heaping coals upon somebody's head. I thought about that scripture, but you're starting to put more and more on yourself. And then when it doesn't happen, you start to feel mom guilt or you start to feel disappointed in yourself. But because you don't accomplish that, that's okay. Again, y'all hear me say on the podcast over and over again, that's okay. Even praying and asking God, hey, is this what you want for me? Or is this just what I want for me? Right? And there's nothing wrong with you wanting something for yourself. But if that's not what God wants for you, you're going to be working and toiling in vain. You're going to be exhausted and overwhelmed. So really think about, what capacity do you have to achieve this thing? What capacity do you have? And you can start to plan these things. You might be able to say, hey, okay, I set this goal. Wait a minute. Is this realistic? Or is this realistic for January? I was told to set your goals, but don't necessarily have a firm timeline. Because a lot of times when we set a goal and we're saying, hey, I will achieve this by January 31st. Is it 31st, y'all? Or 30th? I don't know. But if we don't achieve it by then, and it's like, we're like, oh, never mind, it didn't work. So have a flexible timeline. And I'm talking to you and I'm definitely talking to me. Because I'm like, if I didn't achieve it by then, I'm angry at myself, I'm disappointed, and I might just quit. So if you don't get whatever that is at that time, just have a mindset of I'm going to be flexible. So you're not beating yourself up. So you can say, hey, okay, I didn't get it at the end of January. So let's keep going towards that goal into February. But don't give up on whatever goal that is, especially if it's something God told you, hey, this is something I want you to do. But you may be saying, hey, I want to accomplish it in January. And God is thinking, hey, we're going to get it done by April. And you know how you pray and you ask for something, you're like, God, what's taking so long? What do they say? God's time is not our time. So show yourself grace. Just think about, again, what is your realistic capacity? If you see people online and maybe your friends and they're like, oh, I'm going to do this and all these things, sometimes that puts a lot of pressure on you to say, hey, I'm going to do the same. You may get excited. And yes, you may do the same. And if you do, awesome. But this is for those people who, what do they say at the beginning of the year? You know, the gyms are full. In January, gyms are full. But by February, they're empty or they're back to how they normally are throughout the rest of the year. It's because people, their capacity isn't there. They're not dedicated enough. And there's different reasons, of course, and only you know that. And if you don't, this episode is encouraging you to self-reflect and say, hey, last January, I said I was going to do this. I did not complete it. What happened? Not just what happened in your actions, but what happened in your mindset. That's the most important thing. What happened in your mindset? Because that's what will keep you going or what will stop you. So did you not believe? Were you emotionally exhausted? Were you more focused on other things? What was it? And if you have set resolutions or goals for the new year, or maybe you haven't, maybe you said to yourself, oh, I'll get to myself later. Maybe you said that to yourself all 2025. If you said that to yourself all 2025, I want to encourage you to speak something different. Okay? Because we're brought up to think, or maybe you witnessed your aunts, your moms, your grandmas, it seemed like they put everybody first. Maybe it didn't seem like, maybe that's what happened. And, you know, sometimes we wear that as a badge of honor, super mom, and all of these things. And I encourage you to say, hey, that's not something I want to aspire to. I don't want to aspire to putting myself last. I don't want to aspire to neglecting my own wants and my own needs, but it's something that becomes a habit. Like I said, it's generational. So it becomes a habit. So I encourage you, one thing I want you to do for 2026 is to shift your mindset to not I'll do for me later. I'll take care of myself later. I'll do it later, but making yourself a priority, saying to yourself, I matter too, giving yourself permission. I give you permission now. I give you permission all the time on the podcast, but you don't need my permission. God has already given you permission. Saying to yourself, I give myself permission to take care of me, to take care of my own wants and my own needs. So again, if maybe somebody told you your wants and needs didn't matter, maybe it was you, maybe it was family, maybe people told you to shut up because what you said, nobody cares. And so you internalize that. Maybe you said my kids matter the most and I don't matter at all. Maybe you never said it, but what you do shows it. I encourage you to shift your mindset and start living differently for 2026 and beyond, and saying to yourself, I matter. I have my own joy. I have my own fulfillment that I want in life as a woman. And then figuring out, what are you going to do to get it? Need some ideas? Check out the rest of my podcast. Need some help? Schedule a one-on-one session with me and I'll walk you through that. And something else to consider when we're thinking about, and this is something you can just think about. I encourage you often, and I forgot to say it, get yourself a pen. Take notes from this episode. Save it. Come back and listen again and take notes. But something to think about as you think about December of 2025 and on into January of 2026 and the end of any year into the beginning of another year is there is a lot. There is a lot going on for moms in December. You know, it's Christmas time, different holidays, you have family, there's all of these things. The kids are home, you're planning, you're doing events, it's so much. And there's that mental load of motherhood that is just pressed on you even more. And then you're thinking about, oh Lord, now I'm supposed to set some resolutions for January. Now I'm supposed to have these big goals. And what does that do? That just adds more pressure that I was talking about at the beginning of this episode. So when you think about the reality of that, I encourage you again to show yourself grace. I encourage you again to show yourself grace. And even if you don't set I encourage you again to show yourself grace. And I encourage you again to show yourself grace. And even if you don't set resolutions for the new year, who cares? Okay. It doesn't have to be this big thing. It can be just, hey, someone said just work on being 1% better each day. So instead of, oh, it's January, it's new year, new me. How can I be 1% better on January the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and so on? So I just want to encourage you, mamas. I know we already have a big mental load, a heavy mental load that a lot of us are dealing with. And I just want to encourage you to show yourself grace. That was the whole point of this episode, for you to show yourself grace and know that it's okay. Just work on being 1% better each day and pray and ask God to show you the way, to show you how. And I hope this episode blessed you. I hope you're enjoying your new year. If you're not, I'm definitely praying for you. I'm praying for you, whether you're having an amazing new year, creating, accomplishing all the goals, or whether you're struggling. Because some of my goals I'm not meeting yet. But guess what? It's January the 6th. 1% better each day. Okay? So make sure you share this episode with the mama you love. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a review if this blessed you. Until next time, take care. God bless. Thanks so much for joining me for the Mom Self-Care Podcast. I hope you feel inspired to make yourself a priority too. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Share this podcast with another mama you love and leave a review. Also, feel free to let me know what you would like to hear about in future episodes by visiting me on Instagram at CICInspireMe. Until next time, take some time to take care of YOU, because you matter too.